Hey everyone! Today I want to tell you a story. It's a story not just about crime, but about how our environment and even the smallest things can have a huge impact on our lives and our communities. It's about something called the broken windows theory. Now don't worry, we're not talking about complicated science or legal stuff. This theory is actually quite simple, and once you hear it, you'll probably start seeing examples of it everywhere. Imagine this: two buildings, two stories. Let's start with a little thought experiment. Imagine you're walking down a street in a big city. On one side, you see a beautiful, well-maintained building. Its windows are clean, the paint is fresh, and there's no trash on the ground. It looks nice, safe, and cared for. Now look at the building right next to it. This building has a broken window, just one. Maybe it was broken by a kid playing ball, or perhaps it was an accident, but for some reason, nobody has fixed it. It's just sitting there shattered. What do you think happens next? The domino effect, from one broken window to many. According to James Q. Wilson and George L. Kelling, the two brilliant minds who came up with this theory in 1982, that one broken window sends a powerful message. It silently whispers, "Nobody cares about this place." Think about it. If you saw that broken window and then later you saw someone throw a piece of trash on the ground near that building, what would you think? Would you be surprised? Probably not. It's almost like the broken window gives permission for other small acts of disorder. Here's where it gets interesting. If that first broken window isn't fixed quickly, and if that first piece of trash isn't picked up, then more small problems start to appear. Maybe someone else sees the trash and thinks, well, if they can do it, I can too. Soon there's more trash. Then maybe some graffiti appears on the wall. A little at first, then more. The area starts to look neglected, a bit messy. It doesn't feel as safe anymore. People might start avoiding that street. They think, this place isn't cared for. It might be a little dangerous. And here's the crucial part of the theory. When small signs of disorder are ignored, they create an environment where bigger, more serious problems can begin to grow. From disorder to crime, a dangerous path. When an area looks neglected and messy, it sends a signal to potential criminals too. They might think, if no one cares about a broken window or some graffiti, then maybe no one will care if I commit a more serious crime here. So that one broken window, which seems so small and unimportant at first, can become the first step on a path that leads to more serious crimes like theft, robbery, or even violence. It's not that the broken window causes the crime directly, but it creates the conditions where crime feels more acceptable or easier to get away with. It's like a garden. If you let a few weeds grow and you don't pull them out, soon the whole garden will be full of weeds, making it harder for the good plants to grow. The broken windows are like those first few weeds. A real-life experiment. New York City in the 1990s. One of the most famous examples of the broken windows theory in action happened in New York City in the 1990s. At that time, New York had a big problem with crime. The subway system in particular was notorious for graffiti, fare evasion, people not paying for their tickets, and a general sense of disorder. The city leaders and the police decided to try something different. Instead of just focusing on serious crimes, they started to focus on the broken windows. They made a concentrated effort to clean up the subway. They removed all the graffiti quickly. They also started cracking down on fare evasion, even for just a few dollars. Many people thought, why bother with these small things? Aren't there bigger crimes to worry about? But the police and city officials believed in the broken windows theory. They thought that by fixing the small problems, they could prevent the big ones. And guess what? It worked. New York City saw a dramatic reduction in crime rates. The subways became cleaner and safer. People felt more secure, and the overall quality of life improved significantly. It wasn't the only factor, of course, but many experts believe that addressing the broken windows played a huge role. Beyond crime, where else do we see broken windows? The broken windows theory isn't just about crime. We can see its principles in many other areas of life. Your home. If you leave your bed unmade and then leave dishes in the sink, soon your whole room might become messy. But if you make your bed every morning, it often encourages you to keep the rest of your room tidy. Your work. If a team ignores small errors in a project, it can lead to bigger mistakes down the line. But if they address small issues quickly, it helps maintain high quality and prevents major problems. Your health. If you neglect small health issues like not getting enough sleep or eating unhealthy food, it can eventually lead to bigger health problems. Taking care of small things can prevent serious issues. Your language learning. If you ignore small grammar mistakes or pronunciation errors when you're learning English, they can become bad habits that are harder to fix later. But if you focus on correcting those small errors, your English will improve much faster. The power of small actions. The main lesson of the broken windows. Theory is simple but profound. Small things matter. When we pay attention to small details, when we fix small problems quickly, we create an environment that encourages order, respect, and safety. It reminds us that our actions, even the ones we think are insignificant, can have a ripple effect. One act of care can encourage another. One act of neglect can encourage another. So the next time you see a broken window, whether it's a real broken window, a piece of trash, or a small problem in your life, remember the power you have. By addressing it, you're not just fixing one small thing, you're sending a positive message that can prevent bigger problems and help create a better, safer, and more orderly environment for everyone. What broken windows do you see in your life or community that you could help fix? Think about it and remember that even the smallest action can make a big difference.